In this lesson, we are talking about how to format our text for output so that we can communicate information to the user. Typically, when we're formatting text for output, we're not just writing sentences that we want the user to see, but we're also needing to provide them with variable values that contain information about the results of calculations or that contain information about the values currently held in memory by our variables. So when we're formatting text for output, there's really two ways that we're going to look at. The first way that we're going to talk about is concatenation. Right? And concatenation is the process of joining two items together using the plus sign, right? Plus. So when we concatenate an item together, we may be taking a string value. We talked about string values having the double quotes around them for our variables and joining it to a variable value. And typically, this could be a single sentence like the result is 5, where 5 is a variable value held in memory. Or we could say the 6 people ate 3 sandwiches, where 6 and 3 are both values held in memory by variables, and we're going to concatenate this whole statement together. So let's go into Visual Studio to a console project and look at how we can concatenate variables together for output in a console window. So first, we'll create a variable of type integer, and I'm going to name it number, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a value of 5. Now, if we just want to concatenate a statement using a single variable, we can take the string of what we want to say and the variable value and join them together using the plus sign. In a console application, we use a statement called console.writeLine to output statements to the console window. Everything that we want to output goes inside a set of parentheses. So I'm going to make the statement, the result is, and then I'm going to come outside the string, put my plus for concatenation, and the word number because that's the name of my variable. This is going to output the result is 5. And we can test that by coming up to our debug window and choosing Start Without Debugging. We can see a console window launches and the result is 5 is output. Let's look at another example of using multiple variables for concatenation. In the example, I used the phrase, the number of people ate a number of sandwiches. So let's create another variable named people and give it a value. And then we'll change our statement. So instead, we'll say and then we need to output the number of people, so we'll concatenate in people. And then we'll concatenate in the rest of the string. So we want the number of people ate the number of sandwiches. Now you notice the spacing I'm adding in here in the strings. If you just concatenate right up against the string without any space in there, it's going to just shove the words together and it's not going to look like a proper sentence. So we have to be careful. So this should say the 3, I guess I need the word people ate the number of sandwiches. So we can come up to our debug and start without debugging and see the 3 people ate 5, it should be of the sandwiches to make it sound right, of the sandwiches. So you can see with concatenation that we can add any number of string values into any number of variable values, but you do have to be careful with the syntax in this case to make sure that you're putting your pluses in the correct spot and that you are putting in the strings and allowing for spaces.